A very big, anticipated film opened in theaters over the weekend, which was Marvel's Captain America: Brave New World. To see the reactions of our local Marvel fans and moviegoers in general, I went to Cinemark Movies 14 in Mishawaka. I got to talk with a local Captain America cosplayer and a local tour guide from the Hall of Heroes Superhero Museum, who were there to take free selfies with the fans. They shared their thoughts about the movie and Anthony Mackie as the new Captain America.
So I think Sam Wilson has really stepped into the role as Captain America. He was really quippy and silly as Falcon, but now that he's been given the shield in Falcon and the Winter Soldier and Avengers Endgame, he's really stepped up like his maturity and showing like, hey, if I'm going to lead the Avengers and be Captain America, I got to be mature. I got to represent a lot of values right now. What about you, John?
No, I think he did an amazing job. He stepped into that role perfectly, and he's the right guy for the job right now. And absolutely loved the movie. It was really fun, and it puts I think it's putting Marvel back on the map.
As a Marvel fan myself, I had to ask them about their opinion on Cap going up against two iconic Hulk villains from the comics for this film.
Well, where we last left off, Thunderbolt Ross, I mean, he did have some antagonism with Steve Rogers' Cap, so it does make sense having him have some follow up with that. And I think there's like some crazy rights issues going on with Universal, so if we can get them in some way or form, that's totally fine with me. So I'm fine with them being in the movie. So
I am a super comic book nerd, and any live action of anything, I don't care what you do, I'm here to see it. And so it was really, really cool. Absolutely loved it. And I love the fight scenes. This movie is action packed.
We talked about how they think this film will perform for Marvel compared to previous installments, many of which received mixed reviews and underperformed at the box office after the historic global success of Avengers Endgame.
I mean, I may have a bit of a bias here if you can't tell, but I think it's going to do a great job and get people back on track a little bit. It does the job well. If you like Winter Soldier and all the other Captain America movies, you're going to love this. And I think people forget, too, in Phase 1, most of those Marvel movies were pretty, as kids say, mid and average. And I think it's fine if we have a couple average movies to build up to like the bigger things, like Avengers Doomsday, Avengers Secret Wars, what have you, Fantastic Four coming out. I think this year is going to be a stacked year for Marvel.
Myself, I'm not real sure what mid meant until right now. So I absolutely loved the old ones. And this one brings in some of the old ones into the new realm and gets it all back on track, which is really, really cool. I think Marvel is, like I said before, headed in the right direction. And this movie is, I believe, the starting point for that.
I also asked them what they thought about how people reacted to Anthony Mackie's comment and clarification about Captain America and how people didn't take it very well.
So I think Captain America has a lot of values for a lot of things. And I think it's not Steve Rogers, that's not a real guy, as far as we know. But Chris Evans said a similar comment, and no one was jumping down his throat about this. I do think Captain America does mean a lot of values for a lot of different people, and the American way isn't necessarily everyone's way. I think just being a good person, taking care of your fellow man, loving your neighbor as yourself. I think there's even flight spoilers for the movie. I think there's even that message at the end of the movie of stuff of that sort. And I think Anthony Mackie does a great job conveying that message, as did Steve Rogers, as did Bucky in the comics, and even John Walker to some degree. So, John?
I don't spend my time worrying about what other people think. That way I can stay focused on, the cool things that are happening in my life. So whatever anybody says that makes anybody else angry, I hope everyone just gets along.
And would they recommend this movie?
Absolutely, I would recommend it. Cap suit aside, yes, it's a great movie. Go see it this weekend, especially if you want to avoid spoilers. No spoilers, but there are some cool cameos, but that's to be expected with Marvel right now. And if you want to see Anthony Mackie's Sam Wilson story continued and the MCU as a whole, absolutely, 100% recommend it.
I absolutely love the movie. I mean, no spoilers. It was something that came together that I wasn't expecting. The action sequences were absolutely one of the most fun things that you're going to watch. And I think just the storyline really, really did it for me. And it really got us back where we should be. And man, it was super fun.
We talked about what they like about the Captain America character and how they became Marvel fans in general.
So hilariously with me, it wasn't until the first Avenger where I started liking the character. I was DC all the way, big Superman fan. And Chris Evans' performance as the character, I've seen him in other roles where I was like, he's kind of being a mean guy over here. He's not being very like humble and all that. And he just cranked it up to 11. And I was like, oh, okay, yes, I love this character. And I saw myself in him. And pretty much everyone around him, like Bucky, Sam, the whole Avengers universe, just every time I saw him in Avengers and anything forward, I loved it. I mean, I started grabbing comics. All of my friends that were telling me to get into that Marvel comic, I was like, all right, you told me so. It was the T9 stuff back then when I was texting him. So just all that. But big nerd in general. But John, what about you?
The cool thing is that I was a big Batman fan for a very long time, still am. But I joined the Army and served our country for a little while, and then became a Captain America fan and just really enjoy that character. And I really, really wish that I had the super serum while I was in the Army, or that way it wouldn't have been so difficult.
We also talked about Mackie as an actor in general too.
Anthony Mackie as an actor, I mean, he's got great comedic timing. He kind of reminds me of like a young Will Smith, but even now, like, he's grown into the role and he's maturing as an actor. If I can be honest, I haven't seen him too much outside of the Marvel stuff, but when I do see him doing other things, I do get excited that he's getting some of those roles and opportunities now because of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
You know what's cool is that he's always been the guy that's in the movie, and this is actually a movie that's his movie. And I think he actually said that, and which is really cool that he has his own movie. He's worked so hard and come into his own. From Papa Doc, and I mean, that's only 8 miles away, but he was amazing in that, loved him in it, and he's just gotten better and better as the years have gone by. And I saw that he's got another movie coming out soon that looks amazing. I can't remember what it's called, but it looks really cool, and I'm going to go check it out just because I think he's stepping into his own and he's becoming that guy right now.
And I did have to ask them for a comment about Anthony Mackie and Tom Holland's fun banter now that Mackie has his own solo movie.
I think that's all in good fun, kind of like how Tom Brady and Gronk would give each other a hard time, or Mahomes and Kelsey, to have a more recent reference. Just it seems like just like locker room talk, like, oh hey, I got a solo movie and you didn't. That's all. That's my thoughts on it. I think they're just having a good time. Nothing too crazy.
I love it. It's so much fun. Just the banter back and forth between those two, just giving each other a little bit of guff. I think that's the first time I've ever said guff, but it's really cool to see them go back and forth. And you know what? In your face, Tom Holland. In your face. Anthony Mackie's got his own movie now.
Yeah.
They also talked about how this collaboration with Cinemark Movies 14 and the Hall of Hero Superhero Museum began.
Okay, so what's cool is I'm really good friends with one of the managers here, really close. And we got together and we thought, hey, you know what would be great is if the Hall of Heroes became part of this. And so anytime like a superhero movie comes out, we want to be here and we want to hand out flyers and we want to bring cosplayers. And I think it's just a fun thing, and it helps out both places. It helps out the Hall of Heroes Superhero Museum, and it helps out the Cinemark 14. So we just think this is a great collab between us and the theater, so people can come out, and you should see the kids light up when they see Captain America, and you should see the adults light up when they get to hold the shield. Yeah. It's absolutely great, and I think this is going to be a long-term friendship.
They said that they do see this as a long-term collaboration and that they do intend to be here in collaboration with Cinemark Movies 14 for both the Thunderbolts and the Fantastic Four First Steps opening weekends.
I would say we're definitely, I'll probably dress up as the Thing because I'm the closest to it. I think Thunderbolts, I think Fantastic Four. I'm excited for all how are you not excited, Cap? Come on, boy.
I mean, I could do this all day.
Spencer Beeler, WNDU.com.
Go see the movie. I mean, if you like these Marvel movies, you're going to like it. If you haven't had a chance, or if you just want time away for the kids or a nice, cheap Valentine date, movie, go see it. It's a brave new movie for a brave new world.